Here for Centrum team selection with John Longmire. John, what are the changes for Saturday night's clash with Carlton?
One change this week. Out to the team goes Zach Jones. He's got a sore Achilles and unfortunately wasn't able to train, so he's out of the team. And into the team comes Dean Towers, a first gamer, so it's very exciting for Dean.
It's always great to have a debutant, and for Dean, he was an emergency for many games at the start of the year and then having a bit of an injury. He must be over the moon to finally get his chance.
Yeah, he is. He's done everything right for us this year. He had a great pre-season, and then he was emergency for us for a long time, and he's really developed his game this year. He's learned a lot about the style of footy we want him to play, and he's done it really well. He's really gifted athletically. He's extremely quick and got great endurance. He's a fantastic athlete, and he's learnt the game as far as how we want him to play, and he's done everything right to this date, so it's good to give him an opportunity.
He's quite a versatile player. He kicked 3 goals in the reserves last week, but can also play up the half-back line. Must be good to have someone that's a few strings to his bow. Yeah,
he's a flexible player. He can play forward, midfield or back for us, and he's been able to do all roles for us at different times in our reserves. So it's good to be able to have a player into the team who can play a number of different roles, but most importantly it's about keeping it pretty basic and pretty simple, and understanding to be able to fit into the team structures and just play your role, and I'm sure he'll do that.
Bit disappointing news for Zach Jones with the injury, but also to be subbed out so early in the game last week. What have you made of his last couple of matches?
We've been really pleased with Zach and how he's gone since Reece Shaw's been out injured, to be able to have Zach come in and play that game, the role that Shaw was playing pretty well. He's been really good, and unfortunately was injured last week, copped the hit last week, but in the end he's missing not because of that. He's just had a sore Achilles, which was interesting leading up to this team selection, that we didn't expect him to be out, but hopefully it's only a short one and he can get himself right for the next game.
You must be really pleased to have so many young players putting their hands up though.
Yeah, we've been pleased with the development of some of our younger kids that are coming through. They're coming through and playing pretty well in the reserves. We've got a couple of others there that are doing that, and with a couple of injuries there's been spots open up in the senior team. It's important that those guys that come in have the confidence of the senior players to be able to do what they need to do every week, and that's another opportunity now for Dean to do that.
And looking at the match coming up against Carlton, who had a really big win over St Kilda last week, what have you made of their last month or so of form?
Yeah, we've looked at their last 3 weeks, and they're certainly running really strongly. They're playing a brand of footy that means they've been able to score a lot, particularly from their defensive half, and they've been able to run forward and wide and be able to hit the scoreboard quite regularly. And they've got enormous talent in their team. They've got, whether it's Murphy or Judd or Gibbs or Yaron or Walker, Simpson and Casbolt's playing really well up front. So they've got a number of players there that are really good players, and we need to be mindful of that and play the sort of football that we want to play.
And what have you made of the form of some of the guys like Luke Parker and Ben McLinn last week? Really good to see those guys moving into the midfield and being so strong. Yeah,
it's important that we keep the rotations going through our mid-group, and we've openly said that we want to make sure that there's a lot of flexibility in our team and have players playing a number of different roles for us during the season, and that's been important for us, and that'll need to continue to be important. And those guys that you mentioned in our midfield group they need to keep playing well as everyone else does if we're to win, and we need to make sure that everyone plays well and contributes.
And finally, back on the SCG this weekend after a trip over to Perth in front of a huge Perth crowd. Must be something pretty exciting to know that there might be another big one here at the SCG.
Yeah, all sides are pointing towards a pretty big crowd here at the SCG on Saturday, so we're looking forward to that. Our players can't wait to get back here. The last couple of games we've had here have been good as far as crowd turnout, so we're really hoping that there's a big crowd here again on Saturday night, and we're looking forward to playing in front of a big house and hopefully playing the sort of footy we want to play.